Welcome folks to the seasonal review of the American Powerboat Super League. We had cameras at 5 of the 9 races, starting here at Cranes Roost Lake Park in Seminole County, Florida, where it's been extremely hot and humid and the water level relatively low. Hence a tight course, 9 boats on the final start line on the dock as they kick off. This is the SST 60s, or Formula 3 as they're known now, and it's Neil Haraway in the Hooters craft off to an absolutely flying start. He's just leapt ahead of Tyler Crutchwell, who was on pole position. So Neil Haraway, the defending champion, stamping his mark already this season. Neil Haraway in the number 5 boat, starting as he means to go on. He had a flying start off the dock, overtaking the pole sitter, Tyler Crutchwell, in boat number 66, Paul Pittman's old beautiful SST 60s, or Formula 3 as we must call them now. And look at that race there between Tyler Crutchwell and Mark Profit on the inside. Both boats extremely evenly matched. Oh, they're having a fantastic race. And here, boat number 16, Carol Reno, the local lady from Florida, aiming for a top 5 end position this year. Can Carol make it? Well, she's a gutsy lady, so the money's on, certainly. But it's this man already doing extremely well. The boat's flying along there, and he's being chased by Sam Labanco in boat number 40. Sam obviously off to a great start as Dean Bowes takes on Scott Langgraf in 7th and 8th. Oh, and look at this. Tyler Crutchwell flying on the inside of Sam Labanco. So Tyler Crutchwell up to 2nd, Sam Labanco down to 3rd. A great overtaking move there. Crutchwell gunning his engine, determined to make up for his relatively slow start, and he's got Neil Haraway in his sights. Well, an exciting race already. You can see the 2 leaders within sight of each other on this limited field of 9. Remember, since the lake is relatively low, pretty tight. I mean, they're just cornering all the time, not much of a straight to go down and open up on. All the more challenging on these incredibly fast machines, hitting 90 miles an hour, or just over, even in this relatively short space. And there's Mark Profit in 4th position. As we look at them, and coming through the finish line, Neil Haraway just taking it from Tyler Crutchwell after 20 laps. A great race there. So first blood to the Hooters driver, Neil Haraway. So those results confirmed. Let's catch up with Neil now.
It was wonderful. It's unbelievable we come out with this brand new boat, first time in the water yesterday, and have accomplished what we had this weekend. That says a lot for my team that I have and my boat builder, Gary Pugh. I mean, guys worked hard. We got the boat a week ago Thursday, and we worked every night and day getting it rigged and put it in the water Saturday morning. It's just been wonderful.
Did you know how close Tyler was to your transom?
Yeah. They come on the radio and said he just passed Sam and he's coming hard, and I knew whenever I was hoping that we wouldn't run any more lap traffic, because it was had me nervous. He had a lot more top end than I did, but luckily we had a little more acceleration, but it was close. I just feel wonderful. I just can't believe it.
So now onto the bigger boats, the Formula 2s or SST 120s. As we've known them, off the dock they go. Again, there's only 9 finalists on this small course, and they come firing into that commitment buoy into the first turn, and it's Sean Tarenti, the pole sitter, just claiming his territory, being chased there by Vince Boysen. The 2 good friends, fierce competitors, and look at these bigger boats flying around this tiny course. Well, it's going to be an extraordinary race. This extremely difficult, and one imagines that just making that first boy first is going to be a huge advantage for Sean Terenti. As we look at Gary Pugh in third position there. Gary in the new boat, and here's Randy Doyat in boat number 5, looking extremely good as well. So interesting racing here already in Florida as Vince Voisin hammers away in his second position, chasing after Sean Terenti. Some of the rest of the fleet go through. Jeff Shepherd there, also extremely strong. And we're getting into back marker country already. 30 laps scheduled. They should fly by. And already these boats are doing 108, 109 miles per hour on this tiny course. Would you believe it? While the pit crews have had their work cut out for them here with their prop choice and their tune-up and all their extremely hard work for this race. As we look at Ray Newman, popular fellow from Bullard, Texas, in his fabulous boat. Ray really firing away last year, getting his boat well up to speed now. But it's this man, Sean Terenti from Miami, Florida, finishing first. A great result for him. He was never going to relinquish that lead. And those positions to confirm. Let's catch up with Sean now.
Oh, I feel great, especially on this course. It's tough.
Yeah, it is. You had Vince right on your tail. Any thoughts that he might have caught you?
Oh yeah, he was permanently attached to my mirror for 30 laps, definitely.
And
Especially
Gary
on that second lap where I don't know what happened, but he was there.
Gary was just waiting for the two of you to make a mistake. Think Gary was going to get anywhere with you?
Oh yeah, if we tangled up, Gary was gone. He was right there with Vince, so yeah, definitely.
Planning to come to Peoria?
We should be there, yes.
Good.
So a challenging start for the season as we finish here in Florida, heading for Peoria next round.
Looking for something different in Orlando? How about discovering some native Florida wildlife? Canoe or cruise the Wekiva or St. Johns Rivers? Or thrill to an airboat ride on one of our unspoiled lakes? Shop our 2 regional malls or Flea World and browse the unique shops in historic Sanford, all just minutes north of downtown Orlando. Seminole County, Florida's natural choice. Call for your free Fun Book of Savings and enjoy something unique under the Florida sun.
Peoria, Illinois, round 2 of the American Powerboat Super League. Beautiful sight here on the river as the Peoria town comes out in force to enjoy a spectacular weekend. The Paradise River Rage, sponsored by the local Paradise Casino. A superb spot, I can tell you. As we look at the Formula 3s, aka SST 60s, and the Formula 2s, also known as the SST 120s. Gary Pugh's new boat there, what a beauty. Onto the river now for the final showdown in the Formula 3 class. Rankings coming into Peoria. Neil Haraway on the smaller Hooters boat up top, followed by Tyler Cratchwell and Mark Profit third. And Tyler, you'll have to forgive me for pronouncing your name completely wrongly, no doubt. But off they go, off the start line. You can see the Hooters boat there. Neil Haraway absolutely flying away. Sam Labanco just inside on pole position. These two, Labanco and Haraway, screaming into that first mark. It's neck and neck as they go, and there's a touch, and somebody's over. It's Sam Labanco. It flips over. Looks very nasty little crash there. Let's have another look at that. In they go, neck and neck. Oh, Sam Labanco. Don't quite know what happened there. Real side flip. The divers rushing in to check that he's okay. The race has stopped, of course. Sam is all right, but he's not in the restart. It's Neil Haraway on pole position, off to a very clean lead already with Mark Profit just outside him and Scott Landgraf just outside him, and Andy Felton chasing behind. These guys hammering around that first mark again. So drama already in the APR Super League. In the Formula 3 class, Neil Haraway from the Hooters team, a determined competitor if ever there was one, flying off to a cracking start. Well, it's a tricky course this, as they go down the back straight towards the bridge. You can see the ripples on the water. Doesn't look rough from here, but when you're hammering along at 90 miles an hour, it's a different story under that bridge where the wind can swirl around and cause all sorts of problems for these guys as they scream round those corners, pulling a few G's. Then it's nose down into the home straight. Quite a long course, so plenty of time for all those trim adjustments. And round the next corner. So as we look, it's Neil Haraway leading the charge. Then Tyler Kratochwil, number 66, chasing behind him. Neil just beat Tyler in the first round, Altamonte Springs. So these guys having another ding-dong battle at Peoria, Illinois. Now here we go, the top two, Tyler Kratochwil and Neil Haraway. Tyler on the outside, Neil nearest us on the inside in the Hooters boat. Look at them neck and neck down that back straight, absolutely flying into the top mark. Tyler just getting it, Neil on the inside, the preferred line. Tyler speeding round on the outside. Looks like he has that extra millimetre of speed. There he goes. What a fabulous manoeuvre for Tyler Kratochwil in the lead. He's never won a Formula 3 race before, so he's going to be absolutely buzzing inside that cockpit. And Tyler looks like he's in Professor Paul Pittman's old SST 60 boat. And the Prof won the series a couple of years back before moving on to the bigger class. And we'll see Paul Pittman a bit later. But meanwhile, it's all Tyler Kratochwil leading Neil Haraway with Mark Profit in the Hustler Trailers boat following behind, and Scott Landgraf in fourth. So a cracking race here in Peoria, Illinois. Oh, Neil Haraway aiming for the sky. The air tunneling between the two hulls, hence the name tunnel boats. And these guys really, they want to the white flag there just signifying the last lap as Tyler goes flying past. As I was saying, the air tunneling between the two hulls, lifting the whole chassis out of the water, and sometimes just the propeller is in the water. So they do fly along on this pocket of air, as you can see, lifting the nose up, and it's a very delicate balance between lifting the nose up and flipping backwards, as we have seen in this series. Tyler flying through some of the back markers there into his first victory in this class. Can you imagine the feelings and emotions going through his mind at the moment? The checkered flag for Tyler Kratochwil at Peoria, Illinois. Superb. Well, Neil Haraway coming in there in second place, and Mark Profit through in third. But glory today to Tyler. So to confirm, Tyler Kratochwil just ahead of Neil Haraway, just ahead of Mark Profit. Scott Landgraf chasing in fourth, and Andy Felton in fifth.
He just had a little more top end than I did. This new boat we have, I just wasn't as confident as I was in my old boat running into the wind and the conditions we was running under. But I'd like to congratulate Tyler and his whole family. I mean, they've done a wonderful job, and I mean, that's just, he's just flying out there today. He deserved the win that he got today after the trouble he had earlier.
Well, typical of the sportsmanship in APR. Let's catch up now with Tyler Craditchwill.
Tyler, you did a great job. Sound like you got a good fan club.
Oh, I sure do. I have a lot of fans here. I want to thank everyone for coming down. It's great that they could all make it. This is my first APR win.
Yeah, I know it. You're liable to get wet after a while.
Oh, I know. I managed to stay out of trouble in the first turn, so that was good.
Yeah, that was the key to the whole thing with you and LeBlanco and Haraway in that first turn.
Yeah, it was tight. It was real tight.
Well, the boat's running good. It ran good at Altamonte Springs, but you didn't quite have enough room to do what you wanted to down there, but you did here.
Exactly, yeah, in Altamont we just kind of ran out of straightaway, so here we had a little longer course and made it work.
Well, congratulations to Tyler, who gets the trophy. Commiserations, incidentally, to Sam LeBlanco. A nasty roll, but don't worry, he'll be back. Now, what's this? Somebody's new invention, a little surf ski. Well, I quite fancy a bit of that. And the ski. Haha, looks great. Lovely Peoria. Great setting. Now to the Formula 2 SST 120s. Sean Torrenti is the man to beat into this round with Vince Foysen second, Gary Pugh third, Ray Newman in there, plus Steve Ernst. Off they go from the dock. Gary Pugh on the Hooters boat, pole position, absolutely flying through that commitment buoy, under the bridge, into that first crucial first mark. Gary Pugh is the man into that whole shot, as the motorbikers call it. And it looks like Sean Torrenti is just behind him. Vince Foysen not far behind either. And then Doug Young and Randy Rinker, Chris Shepherd, all piling through. What an exciting race already. So Gary Pugh, the builder of these beautiful boats, some of these boats, an absolute consummate professional rider, seems to have a grip on the race already. Looking good. Very cool-headed pilot is Gary, as he flies round. Been here plenty of times before. Oh, somebody's out. I think it's Ray Newman from Texas. Oh, and here's Paul Pittman, the professor who we mentioned earlier, up into the bigger class now for his, I think it's his second season. Looking good in his new boat. But it's this man, Sean Torrenti, who has overtaken Gary Pugh. Gary's had some kind of engine problem, so Sean Torrenti is the man to beat. He's flying along in his boat. Superb result for him. And here is Gary Pugh. Seems to be having some sort of engine problems. Lost his lead to Sean. As we're into the final laps of the Formula 2 class, Vince Foysen battling away in second. Vince, an amazing competitor, absolutely ruthless and determined, but it's not going to be his day yet again. Into the final lap, Sean Torrenti flying through on his distinctive red boat. As we look at Chris Shepherd in 5th or 6th. Somebody's over. Someone's over again. Everybody stopped, and they've stopped the race there. So it is Sean Torrenti's day. After 29 laps, just beating Vince Foysen, with Gary Pugh third, Doug Young fourth, and Randy Rinker in 5th. Well, let's catch up with a rather rueful Vince Foysen right